Instagram and good morning, YouTube. This little camera over here is having a little problems this morning. Okay, I think we're good. Happy Thursday morning, everyone. It is 9:30. It means it's Cotton Cuts time, and we are here because we have a fantastic show for you guys today. It is my favorite. We did it for the first time last year, and we get to give you guys stuff for just joining us. These are my top 10 favorite things of all of 2025. And I'm going to go through each one and we're going to give them away. And we've got a super fun thing happening. There'll be a surprise. Last year, if you guys caught the show, Paula would like chuck paper at me. Like there was paper that would come floating in from the side. We're not going to do that this year. We're going to do something different. It's going to be super fun. And I cannot wait for you guys to see it. So good morning. All right. So it looks like more colorways are going to be coming out today. I see a lot of you guys are, I like this, like, putting 3 out at a time and putting 3 out at a time. You guys are like waiting with bated breath. I think that's fantastic, Paula. That was a really fantastic idea. All right. Good morning. It is raining in a lot of places. It is raining here in St. Louis. I am so thankful we are done with outdoor sports because we're not having to deal with raincoats. And so it is fun and fantastic. All right. Let's see here. Did I cover all the good stuff? Yes. All right. Let's start the show as we do every week with questions that have been submitted by you guys. Go to cottoncuts.com/live to submit your question. I see these as I sit down and who knows where we're going to go. Good morning, Holly Girl on Instagram. Good morning. Stay young. All right. First question comes to us from Brittany Miller from Wasilla, Alaska. Good morning, Brittany. Thanks so much for your question. Can we get a colorway around bookish prints? Okay, so let's kind of tear this apart a little bit. So let's talk about how we pick colorways for the puzzle mystery quilt, and then how we can talk about bookish prints. So I love book fabrics. I am a reader. We are going to be talking about a couple of my favorite books here in a minute, but I love book prints. I like book themes, and I love and support this question. However, there's a couple constraints when we look at colorways for our puzzle mystery quilts and colorways for our mystery 5.0. And so we need to look at what fabric is available to us. Not every company has a book themed collection every release. And so I know for a period of time, Heather Gibbons, she's Crimson Tate, was doing a lot of book themed collections and releases. And I bought tons of fabric personally because I loved all that fabric. However, her release dates were always off cycle from a puzzle mystery quilt. And the way the fabric releases work is we place our order 9 months ahead of time. It comes to us from the manufacturer. And basically, once they receive it, they do one big batch shipping for everyone that's already ordered. And then they have a tiny amount left over. And so if that print cycle doesn't line up with the launch, we can't get access to that fabric when we need to get it. And so that was one I was like hoping we could get it together. We did do a Zen Chic bookish collection a couple mysteries ago. And so we have some of that fabric in the shop. Unfortunately, that puzzle mystery quilt is long gone. That was a couple mysteries ago. But when it comes to that types of fabric, we're always looking opportunistically. And so we have taken suggestions in the past. We did an Alice in Wonderland theme. I think you're going to see another theme here coming up in a little bit that is more novelty themed. And so keep an eye out. Every time we try to plug in ones that are more whimsical, ones that are more novelty, and we try to have some book themes. I know we just did, hey, wait. What is Hummingbird is which one is it? Anne of Green Gables. So we have an Under the Sea colorway, and that's Oasis. Okay, sorry, I've got people off camera talking to me right now, gang. Okay, so Oasis is Anne of Green Gables. And so if Brittany, if you would like to get in on that, send Carrie a note and we'll get a look and see if we can get you signed up for Oasis. Carrie's sitting right over there. She just fell out of her chair when I made that suggestion. But so every now and then, we try to get bookish prints. We try to get bookish themes. So there's Anne of Green Gables. We've done another kind of bookish theme before, but it's all depending on timing and when we can get the volume of fabrics we need. So sometimes it doesn't always work out, but when it does, we try to definitely use it. So okay. All right. Fantastic. Thanks for the question, Brittany. Please keep them coming. I love it. Our next question comes to us from Sarah Beth from Portland, Oregon. Sarah Beth asks, what's the best way to organize my quilting rulers? I have so many and they're always getting scratched or lost in my sewing space. All right. Sarah, this is a fantastic question. Thank you so much for asking it. Those rulers are darn expensive. They are not cheap for pieces of acrylic. Like the engineer in me is like, it's just a piece of acrylic with etched and paint on it. Like, how could it possibly be so expensive? And there is something magical in the acrylic that is used for quilting rulers that causes those prices to go way up. And I know that, you know, you buy the rulers, the standard strip rulers, which we use all the time as quilters. Then you get your square up rulers, and then you get your specialty rulers. And then you get that ruler that you use for the class at the shop and you're going to make lots of blocks from. And before you know it, you've got all of these rulers. And so my method that has been tried and true, and I've used it for a lot, is to get a pegboard at Home Depot and get the little peg hooks. And you can get them in different lengths. When I was a kid, and, you know, we did this type of thing, they were all one length. You can definitely get shorter lengths as well. And the pegboard is the easiest way to go. I would say if you've never hung pegboard before, be sure when you hang it, you have kind of a spacer piece of scrap wood that moves it away from your wall, because if you mount it directly to your wall, you're never going to get those hooks in. I'm speaking from firsthand experience the first time I hung pegboard up in our first apartment. So please don't do that. Make sure that you give yourself space for the hooks to come in. It looks like Tishua uses a pegboard as well. That is a fantastic way to like get them up there and see. Now, my engineering background, I am definitely a Six Sigma. So, you know, mark the outside so you remember which rulers go in which place. That is an advanced. If you are especially organized, that is an advanced type of skill. Greta says she hangs hers from a curtain rod. I think that's a fantastic idea too. You can use kind of S hooks and put your quilting rulers in them and hang them on a curtain rod, and then you can see them all and you can slide them as you go through. Chris Clicks uses the IKEA pegboard. The hooks are various lengths and thinner, so the holes fit them a little better. I think that is, Chris, that is a fantastic suggestion, that you need to make sure that the hook that you're using can go through the hole in your quilting ruler. You want to make sure that you're not getting a hook that's too big and then you get frustrated and it doesn't work. Let's see here. Deb Jean uses a command stick to attach. That's a fantastic use. Holly Girl on Instagram says her son 3D printed her a ruler holder. So that's one of those things you see all the time. It's the piece of wood, or in this case, 3D printed plastic resin that's flat and has grooves and channels in it, and you can put your rulers in it standing up. I think that's fantastic. I think that's great if you've got a couple rulers that you want to keep really close and convenient that you use more frequently. And then I think there's also just the like chucking them in a drawer. I know that that's not great because that gets them chipped and they get lost. And for me, some of those specialty templates get dropped to the bottom because they're not used as frequently. But I also don't need them right there. I don't need them hanging. I don't need them as frequently. I usually keep them with the fabric that I bought for the project. So it's usually easier for me to keep track of them. While we're talking about rulers, I'm going to go back to where I started. Rulers are expensive. I have heard of a couple people's hacks where if you've got a special cutting template, it's not necessarily a ruler. You don't need the increments on it. You don't need the printing. If you need a cutting template, so if you need to cut out a specific curve or a specific shape or a clamshell, you can go to a glass manufacturer. You can go to like the framing stores, and they will have plexiglass that they will cut to the shape that you're seeking. And it is infinitely cheaper than getting a template or a ruler online. Now, I've used this a couple times where the dimensions didn't necessarily have to be plus or minus a tenth of a thousandth, but it is something that if you are seeking a template for a specific project, you're only going to make once. Going to the frame store is a fantastic way to get a template made cheaply and quickly that you can still use. And they'll make it out of an acrylic, just like what you have, and they'll cut it because they've got the equipment. And it's a great way to get that template without spending a ton of money on it and losing your heart when it gets cracked or chipped. Let's see here. Gail Clower says she uses a file holder like you see outside the room at a doctor's office attached to the wall. That's another fantastic. We use those here in the shop, and you can get them so they're wall mounted. They can go over your door. I know I've oftentimes seen people as well in the over the door category. So that way it's behind your door and it's off your floor or a shelf space. They'll use like shoe holders as well. Those are commonly used to organize your rulers. So basically, Sarah Beth, the answer to your question is anything that you can get to work that works for you and works for your space and puts the rulers that you use most frequently closest to you when you're going to use them is going to work for you. Gail, I like the file holder like you see at the doctor's office. And attached to the wall is great. Over the door is great as well. We have over the door hooks here. Let's see here. Joe Ramsey says the custom cut. So she likes the going to the frame shop, and said her dad took all the squares for a particular pattern and had his friend cut in all the acrylic for me. And we're also living in a world where there's so many people have laser cutters in their homes, and they're able to cut all this acrylic and all this plastic for you as well. And so if you have the dimensions, if you have a template, if you have a footprint, there's so many people that can cut this for you. This is a definitely changing world we are living in today. All right, so Sarah, I know that's probably way more information than you needed or wanted, but there it is for you. I love the idea of ruler organization. If you guys have other ideas, please keep them coming. Good morning, Kathy from Louisiana. All right, so let's talk about shop updates. So we've had a lot of stuff going on in the shop. If you've seen our loading dock every day, our mail carrier practically has a heart attack every day he comes and has to take everything away. We have been moving so many things out the door. So our last Rosa Scrappy Happy Row by Row shipped this week. Those are all gone. All of those. They're sold out. They are all gone. They are on their way to you to arrive to your home before the 1st of the month. We also shipped our Cuddle Books, our Modern Maker. We are working right now on the very last of 12 months of Tim Holtz. The colorway is multi this month. These fabrics are very different than the earlier ones. We love them. They give a little spice, a little something different. The collage prints, we're actually going to see in a minute here. I'm going to give it away. Have a nice kind of collaboration of all the previous months. They've come into the final collage. It is fun. We're going to be having a reveal very soon for Tim Holtz. And we're going to show you a quilt that we've been making here in the shop with the big blocks. And we're going to have a big party. And it's going to be in December. And it might be on December 4th. But I'm not supposed to tell you that. So Paula, it might be on December 4th. Okay. But we're going to have Tim Holtz. We're going to be doing a big reveal, and we're going to be talking about a bunch of giveaways for everyone that's been working on their Tim Holtz projects, and a whole bunch of finishing instructions coming soon. Many of you jumped ahead to Field of Dreamers. So I think we have 6 colorways on the website right now. We should have, is it 9 today? Will there be 9 today? There'll be 9 today. I'm getting affirmation there'll be 9 today. Yes, Jana, I can't believe Tim Holtz is over. It feels like we just started this, right? And so we will be what is taking the place of Tim Holtz. So Pat, we talked about this last week. I gave a hint coming of a project for next year using a fabric sourced from Europe, specifically the United Kingdom, that a lot of people might not necessarily have access to or been too expensive to cut. So we're trying to make it easier for us to all use this very fancy material. Yes, and Carrie is absolutely bonkers excited about this. And so, yeah, so that's coming. That'll come early next year when those fabrics are released, and we can put some more structure around the program. Let's see here. So Terry likes the laundry basket colorway, Farmer's Daughter. I did tease last week that we are going to have a gray work colorway from Tula Pink. And so that'll be coming on the website soon. I am going to give you a hint that those fabrics, the Morris & Co. that have been recolorized in CAFE, we're going to have a colorway on that too. So make sure you guys take a peek at that. Those fabrics, every time I see them, I drool over them. I never know what to do with them because they feel hard to put together, hard to come up with a pattern that's going to make it all work together. And Sheila has done it. She's taken these fabrics that look very difficult to play together, and she's made an incredible design with them. So please check out that colorway if that's of interest to you. If you've wanted to play with those fabrics and never really known how to start, this is a good introductory project. Tishua is excited to see them all. I like that, Tishua. And I think it was Savannah's idea that was to have a mystery colorway, have a let us choose the colorway for you. So that'll definitely be an option for this mystery. If you just want us to pick your colorway, we're going to ask you a couple of questions, and our team here is going to match you to a colorway of your choice. How many choices will be in this next mystery quilt? I think it's 14. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure we ended at 14. There was one that was on the bubble, and I don't remember if that made us 15 or 13, but there was one that we really wanted and cannot get. So it's in the 14 plus or minus 1 category. Carolyn is excited to do her first puzzle mystery quilt. It is a lot of fun, Carolyn. Stay tuned because I'm about to start talking about what's coming up the week after Thanksgiving. So we have 3 live shows coming up the week of Thanksgiving. And so our first show is on Tuesday, December 2nd. Put this one on your calendars, gang, because at 1 o'clock Central Time, we are going to be covering all of the colorways for Field of Dreamers. And so I'm going to talk about the fabrics in them. I'm also going to tell you what might be more prominent, what is going to play well together. I'm going to give you more information about the colorways, the fabric choices, and what is going to pop. So that way you guys can make the most informed decision when you're selecting your colorway. Now it's up to you if you want to attend that show. If you want to just free form and pick a colorway because it sings to you and you don't want all that information, that's fantastic. But on Tuesday, December 2nd, 1 o'clock Central Time, we're going to be doing a live show just like I've done in the past. Here's the colorway, here's the fabrics, here's the binding, here's things to consider. And that way you guys can make the best informed choices when signups start on Friday. Let's see here. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. And if you're a first timer, definitely come to that show because you might learn some things. It's the color wheel has 6 fabrics in it, but not all 6 fabrics are used evenly in the final design. And so it's going to be super important to attend that because I know we've done some mysteries before and it says, hey, pick a solid that's, meant to coordinate. And before you know it, it takes over your entire quilt where you thought it would be a little less. So this is the type of information we can share with you at that time. So you guys can pick a colorway that you're going to love forever. Then on Wednesday, December 3rd, we're going to have another live show. What time is that show, Paula? It's not on here. It is at 11 o'clock, and we are going to be revealing island hopping. So clue 3 for island hopping just dropped yesterday. Clue 4 will drop next week, and then the reveal comes the week after. And so I am going to encourage you guys to attend this reveal. We are going to have, I think, 7 different quilt tops to show with you guys, but I'm going to give you guys a ton of tips and tricks on finishing these quilts because this is a design where there's the out of the box Mystery 5.0 package, and then we applied some cotton cuts on top of it. And so we're going to show you different ways to take these parts and pieces and really make this quilt top yours, to make it a choose your own adventure. So you guys can see how just rotating some certain things is going to completely change the final design. JetBlue Designs is asking December 2nd at 1, December 3rd at 11. Yes, December 2nd is 1 p.m. December 3rd is at 11 a.m. Thank you for asking that question. I'm going to recap all that at the end because we've got a lot of shows, a lot of things happening that week. That is a bonkers week for us here. Okay, so, and for those of you guys that are keeping up with island hopping, I am loving those half rectangle triangles. I see a lot of success with those. I think you guys doing them in small batches. I am also going to tell you guys that, that the next 2, like if you sewed yesterday's clue, was really easy. It was sewing half square triangles together. Bam, done. Next week is also an easy clue. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving is an easy clue. So that'll give you time to get caught up, to make sure that you guys are able to get to be ready for the big reveal and the finish on the 3rd. Which live is Island Hopping Reveal? So Island Hopping Reveal is Wednesday, December 3rd at 11 o'clock. Don't forget, all of our clues for Island Hopping come out on the Wednesdays, so we're going to do our reveal that way. You are going to see, like I said, 6 different finished quilt tops. I reviewed potential options with the team a couple weeks ago, and so you're going to see a lot of different options than you would if you're participating in Mystery 5.0 with different shops. It's just the way that we like to think. We want to make sure that you guys are able to make a quilt that you love and that represents you. All right, then Thursday, we have a regular live show, and we're going to have a fun topic tossed in there. So make sure that you're there all 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Thursday, we're going to give away lots of fun stuff. And then, of course, the real fun happens on Friday when Field of Dreamers opens for sign up at 7 o'clock Central Time. So that's if you've never participated before, that is when you want to set your alarm because some of these colorways will sell out in 20 minutes. And I know I say this every time, and I know that I have to break people's hearts because you missed an alarm or the time zone change gets you and your colorway is sold out and we have to do a wait list. And I hate doing that, you guys. So please, 7 o'clock on Friday. Now, if you just finished Flyaway, one of the perks of just finishing a puzzle mystery quilt is you get early access to sign up the day before. That is only available for people that just finished Flyaway. It's like you just finished. Here's the perk. You don't have to set your alarm for 7 a.m. Nothing ever sells out on the first day. And that way you can get in, get your choice of colorway, and sleep in and enjoy your coffee on Friday morning and not the frantic chaos that is our website. Now, if you are on that Friday crew, 7 a.m. if you've just finished Flyaway, you're going to get details in your email on the day before or 2 days before on Tuesday. And you also had it with Clue 10. And it's also in the insert that was sent to you. We try to get you as much access as possible to that day early access. Because again, we don't want you guys to miss out on your colorways. We want to make sure you guys get to make the quilt that you're going to love. Is it live on YouTube or Zoom on Facebook? So all of these lives are going to be like this. So it'll be on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube. So all of them will be here. Hello, Lisa. Good to see you. Let's see, you're watching on Instagram too. I love that. Thank you so much. To add today to important dates, regular Cotton Cut Society meeting is today, I believe. Yes, Janet is absolutely correct. Look at all these things. So tonight we are having our Cotton Cut Society. This is a Zoom sew-in specifically for people working on Cotton Cuts projects. It starts at 7:30 tonight, or 7 o'clock tonight. Is it? We will clarify that in half a second, but it's at 7 o'clock. They're scrambling over there, gang. It is tonight. I will have Paula put in the chat on Facebook and on Instagram more details on how you can find the Zoom link to get there. Kim Martin says she still hasn't gotten her Clue 10 for Flyaway. I am so very sorry, Kim. We had so much going out the mail. And when we have these big batches, not everything gets scanned. Sometimes it gets scanned when it gets to you. Kim, please, please, please reach out to help at Cotton Cuts. And Carrie is working through getting everyone solved. If you have stuff, she is going to get it to you. And we'll issue all the insurance and all the tracking. And we'll call postal carriers. We will get it solved for you, Kim. So please, please, please send a note to help at Cotton Cuts. All right. And quick reminders, don't forget that today's the last day to get your pre-cut Mystery 50 Aloha kit and get a $10 bonus gift card. And today is also our last day for the buy two, get one of the strip packs for Under the Sea. Is it Under the Sea? For strip packs as well as our PMQ bolt and bundles. All right. Does it cost to attend tonight? No, Pat, it is absolutely free to you to attend the Cotton Cuts Society Social. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Okay. We will clarify the time on tonight's show, you guys. We're going to make sure everyone is in the right place at the right time. Okay. Doop. Oh, and then, of course, because we haven't announced enough big stuff, so tomorrow we are going to be resurrecting our YouTube live sales. So these were a ton of fun when we did these in the spring, you guys. We are going to be hosting this live sale on YouTube. We have a whole website to get signed up and get registered ahead of time. And so Paula's going to put that up on the screen, and it is cottoncuts.com/registration. Head there, and it'll give you a ton of information on how our YouTube live sales work. We want you to register so that way we get your mailing address, that way we get your YouTube username, because sometimes your usernames don't always match your shipping name, and we want to make sure that we pair all of those things together. So the registration helps us to make sure your things get to the right place. Now, what are we doing tomorrow? So tomorrow's Pink Friday. And I know we're about to come up on Thanksgiving where it's Black Friday and Shop Small Saturday and Cyber Monday and all the things, and the Women-Led Wednesday and all the things that people do, right? But so this new one that's been created is Pink Friday. And so this is shopping. Oh, no. All right, we're back. Paula, we blipped out there for a minute. Woof. All right. You know, we just need more chaos in our lives. That's really what it comes down to, gang. They want me to have a heart attack as the spinning wheel shows on the screen, so that way we can't give you guys all this fantastic things. Yes, Michelle, I think it froze, but I think it is back. All right, so the YouTube live sales. So we are going to be destashing tomorrow. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have an opportunity for you to fill a box. So we're going to have some things that are higher priced. We're going to have some things that are smaller priced. And by filling a box, you're going to save on all that shipping cost. And so it is truly a smorgasbord of a show. We're going to have a little of this, a little of that. We're going to get together. It's going to be a lot of pink, and you guys are going to have a really good time. And who knows, maybe Paula will tell jokes as we go along. All right. Let's see here. All right. That's a ton of information, guys. Tomorrow is Pink Friday. Tuesday after Thanksgiving is Field of Dreams colorway show. Wednesday is Mystery 50 reveal. Thursday is our normal show. And then Friday is when signups open for Field of Dreamers. I think Paul's going to put out a post with the calendar of all of these things. All right. What's that now? Yes. You will get a ton of information to make sure you've got all these things. Now, all right, here's the fun part. This is where I get to give you guys some of my favorite things of 2025. So the way this is going to work, I have 10 things on the table in front of me. And so I am going to talk about the generalized theme of the item. And so I'm going to tell you, I'll do the first example. So I went to a local crafting shop here in St. Louis, and I've got a gift card. I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to answer the question while I'm explaining the gift. And at the end, Paula is going to give me the name of one person who answered the question who's going to win the prize that I talk about. And so we have a special delivery method. If you guys are on YouTube, you can see this little string. It's going to be kind of fun. She's not throwing paper at me. We are upgrading this year. So the first item is I went to a local crafting shop and I bought a gift card for you guys that we're going to give away. And so my question to you guys is, what local crafting quilt shop, yarn shop do you guys love in your local area? So to win our gift card, which is an online company, I'm not going to lie, they have a pretty big online presence. What is your favorite local quilt shop? So go ahead and put those questions in. And I'm going to talk to you guys about an actual embroidery cross stitch shop that's here in St. Louis, and it's called Color and Cotton. And so Color and Cotton, I have this lovely piece of magenta thread that is going to come with the gift card, the $15 gift card. Color and Cotton is a store that opened here in St. Louis about 10, 12 years ago, and they hand dye all their own cross stitch floss. And they also have a ton of kits. They have a ton of patterns. They have a huge online presence, and they have a big enough space that they have a warehouse in one part of the town that does all of their hand dyeing. And then they have a retail store that's open a couple of days a week for a couple of hours. But I had a lovely conversation with their owner when I went in. I went in a couple weeks ago. It's like 3 miles from my house, and I had no idea. They used to be located much further away. And I went in and I bought these kits, and I bought a pattern and I bought some floss, and it was so much fun. I love to cross stitch. It is a very slow craft. For those of you that cross stitch, very, very slow craft. So what we are going to be giving, but I more importantly, shop small and shop local. And to me, that's super important this holiday season, especially as prices are increasing. We're seeing all the time local quilt shops that are going out of business, that are going online, that are having to make really hard decisions. And I feel like we as consumers at this time of year can help defray some of that. If you want your local quilt shop to stay in business, they need you. If you want your local yarn shop to stay in business, they need you. The local quilt shop, they need you guys to stay in business. And you guys can do so many things. You can buy a gift card and give it to a friend. You can go in and buy a small kit that you're going to sew into next year. There are so many ways you can support small businesses. And I think that many times we think it has to be monetary. It doesn't have to be. Even going to their Facebook page and sharing a post or liking a post or commenting on a post, that is definitely something that you can do to be able to support these small businesses this holiday season. All right, so Paula, who is our winner of the Color and Cotton? And we've got lots of people participating. Okay, so here it comes. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Our winner is, okay, we're laughing because it took us so much time to come up with this plan. So the winner of the gift card is Brittany Miller. Oh, Brittany, you asked our first question. Yeah, darling, you have to go to Color and Cotton. It's really close to us. Okay, so this is going to Miss Brittany Miller. Congratulations, Brittany. That is going to be fantastic. They have an incredible selection of cross-stitch kits. Okay, our next category is my favorite, quilting snacks. So what things do you as a quilter like to eat, munch upon, nosh on while you are quilting? So this can be quilting at home. This can be quilting at a retreat. What is your favorite snack? Do you want to graze on the potluck that is at most quilting retreats? What do you have when you're at home? What are you eating when you're quilting and sewing? And so for me, for those of you guys that joined me last year, 2 of these are the same, and I added a new one, and it actually has a very special meaning. So the first is my Albanese gummy bears. You guys, these are game changers in the gummy bear category. I thought everything was Haribo, and I know Anna loves Haribo, and she's going to be putting in a Haribo comment here in a minute, and she has changed my son Dominic. He's a Haribo fan. I thought that was the only version of gummy bears there are. Albanese are amazing. They're so soft. They're amazing. Dawn has found these at the dollar store. So if you want to get in and try it for not a lot of money, I mean, they're not that expensive, guys. It's gummy bears, but they are amazing. Then, of course, we've got my peanut M&Ms. So I actually had a meeting earlier this week. I brought these. These were gone in like 30 minutes. Peanut M&Ms. They have to be peanut. I know there's plain M&M lovers out there, and I know that's one of the most requested Halloween candies, but peanut is where it's at. Sandy says she doesn't eat while she's sewing. I get that. I am trained to think like these foods transition oils to your hands, and that you can transition that to your fabric, and that it can sometimes discolor it or age it. I get that. You guys are putting in some fantastic. I feel like I need to download this chat because this is fantastic. You guys is white grapes, animal crackers. That is fantastic. All right. Red licorice and Diet Coke or iced tea. Okay, so Lynn, I have to ask you to put the red licorice in the Diet Coke and use it as a straw because that is fantastic. If you've never done that, you have to try it. Joe Mosley says trail mix, gummy bears are so... Ooh, Terry Cooper, you have blown my mind. The peanut M&M gives you protein, right? Yes. And I've even seen online that, you know, in that little pouch that all of our sewing machines have, if you clean out all your stitching feet and all the notions and things you keep in there, you can put your peanut M&Ms in there. The thing that I'm adding new to this gift is a chocolate covered payday. This is Dominic and my absolute favorite road trip food. So he's actually leaving with his dad tomorrow to run in the cross country national meet. And this is his road trip food of choice. We discovered this. I randomly sent him in as like, go get us something to eat. And this is bonkers, you guys. So we did a blind taste test with our family this year. And we put a chocolate covered payday up next to a Baby Ruth. And they feel like they're the same. This guy won hands down. Like it wasn't even close. This is incredible. You guys have to try these if you haven't already. Okay, so our winner of these fantastic, lovely assortment of goodness is, woo, that one came flying in hot, is actually Janine Spencer. Congratulations, Janine. You have won an incredible assortment of quilting snacks. All right. Protein drink and grapes. Sheila, I love how you play there. I put snacks on the counter to make me get up and stretch and take a break from sitting. Melinda, that is a fantastic tip. Don't keep your snacks by you. Make sure you have to get up and go get them. Mitzi, I actually found the chocolate paydays most frequently at a gas station. I could not find them in a grocery store or a drugstore, but gas stations almost always have the chocolate paydays. All right. Congratulations, Janine. All right, our next one is the quirkiest notions you didn't know you needed. So in the past year or longer, what is the quirkiest notion that you've seen and you bought and you didn't know you needed it and you actually ended up loving it? It's one of those things you're like, why would I possibly use this? Why would I need it? It was an impulse buy, and it turns out that it is so core to your soul and you use it so frequently. All right, so for me, there are two in this category. And so the first one's not going to be a surprise. If you guys have been watching the show and you guys are doing island hopping with me, it is this little lovely presser bar. And so this guy here is an absolute bonkers game changer for pressing all those seams open. And I love that, you know, I posted videos and photos. Like you put your fabric on there, it stays on. You can turn it upside down. It doesn't fall off. Those seams pop open. I know there was someone on Facebook that posted like a longer roller bar that did the same thing. You guys, it is fantastic. This is my quirkiest notion I didn't know I needed until this year. And it's literally sitting by my sewing machine right now. It almost makes me want to reconsider my position about pressing seams open. Almost. Pressing seams open is hard, but this guy makes it so much easier. And especially on these Mystery 5.0 designs where there's a lot of intersecting pieces and there's a lot of thickness there, this guy definitely helps. Now, this other one we introduced at a quilting retreat, and people pulled it out and were like, why would I possibly need this? What does this do? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Why would I possibly want this? And once we explained it to them, like light bulbs went off and people loved it and they ripped it out of its package and they started using it. And so it is this guy. And so it is called a binding ease. Binding easy, perhaps, binding ease. And so the way that this guy works is you thread your binding through this little flap here and this little flap here, and you keep your iron on this mat and you pull your binding through and your iron will press it. Now, why is that important and why is that cool? So me, when I'm doing my binding, I like to keep my iron down on my ironing board and I pull my binding through. And every single time there's this fear that I might be burning through my ironing board, the cover, it might leave a stain. Like, is it too hot to actually hold all this time while I'm pulling my binding through? Well, this takes care of it because this is going to insulate your cutting board or your ironing board from all of that heat. And so this little guy, you pull your binding right through, you can just leave it here. Now, mind you, if you have an Oliso, you've got a little problem because that Oliso is going to want to pop up. But this will protect your ironing board, and you can leave that iron down for a long period of time. Okay, you guys have, let's see here, long flathead pins, rotary cutter. Let's see here. I want to try that, but they're so expensive. I know that's the problem. A lot of these things are expensive, but tissue, like these are going to be given away for free today. One of them will be. Adding more things to my Christmas list. Joe Ramsey, it's fantastic. This is a good time to ask other people. A clapper. That's another thing. Like you're going to want me to put like a piece of wood on my fabric and it works, and it works. Like it does definitely work. All right. So the winner of the two quirkiest notions that we didn't know we needed are the winner. No, winner. Sorry, I misspoke. It is winner. Let's see here. Binding ease just came. You guys have these binding ease. Fantastic. The winner is Yvette Hartz 3406. So Yvette Hartz 03406. Congratulations. You have won these two quirky notions, and you're going to find a ton of use for them. Let's see here. That pressing thing for the binding is really cool. Yes, I like that it gives me that peace of mind that I can leave my iron down while I'm ironing it without damaging my ironing board underneath of it. Oh, Yvette Hartz is super excited. Congratulations. All right. Our next category is our best quilting books of 2025. So I would love to hear from you guys. What were the best quilting books that you saw this year? What is a quilting book on your shelf that you've used this year? Or what is just your go-to quilting book whenever you need inspiration that you grab off your shelf? What's that quilting book? What is that thing that you are picking and using going forward? And so we're going to pick one lucky winner that's going to win both of these books. These books, as soon as they were released, they were in my house because I saw them and I loved them. They both sing to me very, very much. So the first one is called Zero Waste Quilting, and it's projects using every scrap with style. So I am an engineer. I cannot throw away any fabric. I have to have zero waste. I hate throwing anything away. And so I think there's over 30 total projects in this quilt that use zero waste and can use all those scraps that you have that can help you not generate scraps and not put things back into the waste stream. And so there's so many bright, fun, there's interesting tips and techniques and things that you can do with those scraps that are living around your house. And I mean, it's beautifully, the instructions are very well done. To me, that's very important. But here are some blocks that can be made that are zero waste, that actually use every single piece of fabric in your stash. And you guys are giving like a ton of fantastic ideas over here. Are we capturing? Like we have to record this chat, you guys. This is fantastic. But it also gives you, and it's not just scrap quilting. There's pieces in here where and I like these, that they have the templates in the back. So if you want to get acrylic templates made, you can definitely do that. But there's this, and then they give you coordinating pieces that you can use with the other pieces that are the scraps that you're going to generate by using that shape. Fantastic, fantastic book. And then this other one, it's called Modern Improv Quilting, Be the Boss of Your Design. And I know we've talked on a lot of the shows about how do we go from traditional into a modern phase? How do we make those bridges? How do we kind of jump from a traditional block that we do again and again into something that's more improv, more free form? And so this book is the one that I get a lot of inspiration from. And so it takes the traditional and it bridges it to something fun where you can be more creative and more improv in your style. And there's this one I like because it's more than just quilts. It also has projects in here. It has bags. It has accessories that you can use improv quilting in. And it's less about planning a design and then executing a design and more doing the design while you're actually executing the project. So you are creating your finished quilt, your finished project as you're stitching it versus before you even start cutting. And so this has been the bridge to get me out of some traditional ruts. And this fabric, this is fantastic. All right, so both of those books, we're going to pick one lucky winner. We're going to have our little zip line of activity, and here we go. All right, so our winner of both books is Terry. So Terry, congratulations. You win the books. Hello, Guy Who Sews. Hello, Sean. How are you? All right. Let's see here. So that's the quilting books, you guys. Let's see here. Walk. That sounds awesome. Scrap quilting and more quick rotary cutting quilts. 3-yard quilting books. Yes, Mitzi Quilter. Those are fantastic because a lot of people have 3 1-yards, and it's good to know what you can do with them. Everyone's saying hello to Sean, hello to Sean, hello to Sean. Okay. Now, my favorite overall book that I read this year. So last year, I went with something that was very inspiring, very transformational for me. It was very thought-provoking. We had a lot of people here in the shop read it. It was the book that you read and it sticks with you. This year, I'm going something a little lighter, and it is a book series that Dominic and I have read together. So if you go ahead and drop in the comments, what has been your favorite book that you have read this year? It doesn't have to be something that's life-changing, like I suggested last year. It can be something that just you read it and you enjoyed it and it was fun and it served a purpose, right? So go ahead and drop your favorite book this year. Now, before I show you guys this, I want to share with you that this is going to be like a Pringle. You cannot eat just one. You will need to read all of the books in the series. And so this is the first, I believe it's 8 books, and then there's a prequel, so 9 books total. Dominic and I both read all 9 books this year, and we read them in parallel at the same time, side by side. It was fantastic. Once you read this book, it's going to open a whole new universe for you on TikTok and on Instagram and on Facebook. And this is a book that has a huge cult following. I've mentioned previously, I love romanticy books. So it's not romantic books. They're not romance books. These are romantic fantasies. Now, mind you, when I said that to someone, they thought it was aliens. We're not aliens. Carrie is like standing up to look at the book. Carrie's wanting to see. Okay. So this one is Sarah J. Maas, Throne of Glass. So this is the first book in the series of a character, Aelin Greyshriver and Ashriver, Galathanus, right? These names, right? This is the fantasy book. This is the first book in the series. This introduces you to Aelin. Aelin is, I can't actually even describe the book to you. Like, just go get it and read it. And you're not going to want to put them down because you want to follow her story through all of these books. She starts out as an assassin hired by the king to be his champion. And it just tells this incredibly long story. You get involved in the characters. Dominic and I would have multiple conversations about which character and which storyline we loved better. And when we get to the end, you're cheering for all the heroes and rooting against all the bad guys. And it is a fantastic use of time. It was awesome. And so we are going to be giving away the first book. I'm warning you when you get this. And then Sarah J. Maas has like 3 other series that have huge cult followings. This is down a rabbit hole. That series made me, Sarah says, this series made her cry so much. Just a warning for anyone who likes to read in public. Sarah, I get it. The end of this book, whew, it gets you, man. You got a lot of time in here. Holly Girl says, yes, the Throne of Glass series was fantastic. Yes. And it is a good entry into Sarah Maas. And I read it with my kids. So, I mean, how many times can you read a book with your kid and both enjoy it equally? Let's see here. People love Sarah Maas. Okay. So the winner of this book is going to be and I missed it. Is going to be Kim Martin. Kim, congratulations. You have read the book, Throne of Glass. I'm warning you, it's like a Pringle. You can't just have one. You will want to read all of them. Okay. You guys have a fantastic. Yeah. Lynn loves the series. She read it with her granddaughter, read them all. Fantastic. So Terry is still excited about her books. I love that, Terry. I love that energy for you. Okay. Next up, our Pantone color of the year. So each time we do these shows, we like to take a look at what the Pantone color of the year is and put together a series of fabrics that I like that are cohesive with the color of the year. Color of the year for 2025 is brown. This is my favorite things. So we skipped over brown and we're going to transformative teal. So in order to win the bundle of transformative teal fabric, you guys have to answer the question, what is your favorite color? If you could rename the color of the year for 2025, perhaps you keep it brown, or perhaps you would want to pick something else. What would be your color of the year this year? I'm getting, how do you get your prize, Janine? We will contact you. There will be a link. Okay. She's going to put the link on the screen for you guys to see it. So if you've won, go to cottoncuts.com/favorite-things-winner, and we will get your address and get your things out to you. So if you could pick your color of the year, what would it be? I'm going to show you the fabrics that I pulled that match the swatch that Pantone provided for transformative teal. Now, I'm going to warn you guys. This is on the border of colors I am incapable of seeing because it is too close to green. It is very close to green. And so I struggled with this. However, I had the swatch and I picked out 6 fabrics that hit in the transformative teal category. And so I've got fabrics with metallic accents in this bundle. I've got other, these are from one of the colorways we did for PMQ. And then I've got in the swatch for transformative teal, it also has these lighter colors. And then I have a K fabric that hits all over transformative teal. They're half yards. The winner of this is going to get a half yard of each of these prints. In fact, it'll be this exact bundle. They are very beautiful, aren't they? Bonnie, these are very, very pretty. This teal, it is, I mean, I don't know if I put them on the same project, but I guess you could, but it is a lot of fun on this one. I love those. Yes. Mystic Cactus. Look at all these Mystic Cactus lovers. Yes. These were Mystic Cactus fabrics. And we did that one for Wild West. Brown, I would call chocolate mousse. Okay. I like that. Chocolate mousse. It kind of dresses it up a little bit. They're very pretty. Yes. Holly Girl. These are very, very pretty fabrics. They're fun. And our winner of this bundle is going to be, I'm going to try and catch it this time. Whew, it is so quiet. It is very, very silent, isn't it? All right, is going to be Betty Stewart. And evidently Betty says green is her favorite color. So that is why you were selected to win this prize. So congratulations, Betty. You have won transformative teal. It is so close to the colors I can't see, but I love these fabrics. Brown equals sable. Oh, sable sounds super shishy. Anything cake, my favorite color is rainbow, meaning lots of movement. Yes. Congrats, Betty. All right, next we're going to give a half yard bundle of my favorite fabric designer this year in a collection that I love. And so my question for you guys to win this bundle is, who was your favorite designer? Was there a specific fabric collection that spoke to you? Was there fabrics that you really liked this year? And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to bury the lead here. I love Giuseppe. Juicy Juice fabrics are my absolute favorite. I got to spend a week with Giuseppe in New Orleans. He is a fantastically wonderful human being. I am excited about his 40 collection, which we use for our Winding Way quilt top. So if you joined us in New Orleans, you've seen these fabrics before. And when I went to the 40s collection, I liked that collection specifically because it had so many SKUs. He had 40 SKUs in that collection. That's not often that you see that. And it really hit the entire gambit of the rainbow, which is, again, another very hard thing to do for a designer these days, is to get all 40 prints in the entire gambit of the rainbow. So when I went shopping for my favorite fabrics and fabrics that make me happy and fabrics that make me sing, I chose these lovely jewel tones. I am a huge fan of pink and purple. And I know it looks kind of blue on camera. Don't let that deceive you guys. This is pink and purple. These fit squarely in my fun category. I am a jewel. Give me a deep purple. Give me a hot pink. Give me a royal blue. We can skip over the forest green. That's not a real color. But I love the pinks and the purples from these collections. These fabrics, they just have a lot of movement, a lot of fun. And so we are going to give this half yard bundle. I'm reading what you guys, Corey Noter, Allison Glass, Henry Glass, Oxmoor House, Fig Tree, Still Cape and Tula. It's hard for me to get the whimsy ditzy fun. Dragonflies, Cape and William Morris and their collaboration. That is actually, Barbara, I don't know if you caught it at the beginning, but that's going to be a future PMQ colorway for Field of Dreamers, is the Cape and William Morris. Forest green doesn't exist in real life. Yeah, we've never seen a forest in green, Terry. You're absolutely right. No, forest green is not a color I see. So the winner of this lovely half yard bundle is going to be, coming in from the left, Lisa Whitesmith-Witowski. Congratulations, Lisa. You have won this bundle of lovely fabric. I can't wait to see what you do with it. If you want to break it up and do something separately or do something all together. All right. I alluded to this at the beginning of the show. And so what is my favorite fabric from the stash of fabric in the shop? What is kind of the coolest thing that we have done that I could put together in a fun bundle that you guys might love and not have access to anywhere else? This is one of the beauties of being here, is I can pick and pilfer and pick things that I like and choose. And so what is the question we were going to ask on this one? Hold on, I need to get caught up on my notes. Let's see here. As you look at your existing stash today, What are the fabrics that you've been holding onto and not using? Is there something that you have and you're waiting for the right inspiration to come around? Like you bought it, you love it, and you have so much joy in it, but you're not using it for a project yet because you haven't seen the right pattern. There has to be something along those lines. And so for me, this is fabric that I've seen that I've loved. It's not something I would normally use, but it's something that I'm waiting for the right inspiring project to come along with it. And so what we have is we have 12 fat quarters of all of the collage prints for Tim Holtz. And so in here we went all the months. So this is the pink one, and it's going to be a fat quarter of each of these. You're going to get 12 fat quarters, 3 yards of fabric. Here's the red collage prints. You can get all of these in a single bundle. Here's the orange, here's the yellow, and the green. This is something I've always wanted to do something with Tim Holtz, but I've never really had the chance to cut them up and use them. And I really like the Painter's Palette project because it kind of broke past all those preconceived, like, oh, it's a collage print. How do I cut it? What do I do with it? And so here's the purple, which is super fun. I like the purple. And then we have the charcoal. And last we have this multi. And so in the multi, we've got all kind of the colors all together in a single print. So the person who wins this bundle is going to get all 12 fat quarters of all these collage prints, which you can't get because this print just shipped and arrived this past week. And so I love that we're able to do something fun like this for our favorite shows. All right, and the winner of this bundle is going to be Pat Vizino, $13.94. Congratulations, Pat. You have won the Tim Holtz Fat Quarter bundle. Let's see here. Yeah, Kathy, very cool, very cool. Tim Holtz. I've been hoarding Tim Holtz. Tim Holtz have some Tana lawn that I just pet. I know the Tana is so expensive, Lisa. I get that very much. Original feedback, Maggie Collections, Gray Works. Congratulations, Tilda. Tilda is also one of those ones that I feel like you buy it and you don't necessarily know what to do with it yet. Okay, so my next is my favorite non-quilting craft of this year. So we've already talked about my cross stitch. I love cross stitch, but this year I went to Hawaii, and on that trip, I picked up a non-quilting craft to do on that plane flight. It was pretty long. I was flying by myself. I needed something to do with my hands to keep me busy on the way out there and the way back. And of course, I had like a 5-hour delay in Las Vegas. So it ended up being like a 14-hour delay to get to Hawaii. And so I wanted something to do with my hands. Thank God I had this project with me. Yes, sorry, the question. She wants me to ask the question to make sure she gets time. So what is your favorite non-quilty craft that you like to do? Welcome, Teresa. We are about to give our last 2 prizes. So what is your favorite non-quilting craft? When you are not quilting, what are you doing? What sort of things are you creating? Go ahead and put those into the comments, and you are going to win my favorite of this year anyways, non-quilting craft. And so for me, it is crochet. I love crochet. When I first learned to crochet like 15 years ago, and I went into Michael's and I was like, I want to learn how to do a yarn craft. What can you tell me the difference between knitting and crochet is? And the lady was like, well, I'm pretty sure crochet is 1 needle and our knitting is 2. And I was like, well, I'm going to start with the 1. And I have done a lot of crocheting over the years. It's kind of my default after quilting is I do a lot of crocheting. And so what I wanted to do is I gathered a couple of the notions that I used the most this year as I was traveling. And so I have my yarn bag, which is this cute, and I think it's Jen Hewitt. Yeah, it's a Ruby Star knitting bag. And I found that I could keep my ball of yarn in here, cinch it tight, and I could pull it out the top, and it wasn't rolling away again. I was on an airplane, so it's real bad form to have that yarn ball go down the center aisle and have to chase it. So I wanted to make sure that did not happen. So I got this really cute yarn bag. I also had a cute little portable tin that I could keep all of my little bits and pieces in, and this fit inside my knitting bag. And so when my yarn bag, so when I went in, I knew exactly where to find it. I didn't have to dig around and look for it. So I have this cute little tin, and it has a butterfly on it, which is just super fun. Oh, Lisa George, like speed puzzling. Lisa, I am intrigued. I always see these videos of people speed puzzling, and I'm excited by that. Then I'm going to talk about crochet hooks. And so I have more crochet hooks than I could ever possibly need in a lifetime. And I have a bunch of foil crochet hooks. Those are the ones that I learned on that I would get at Michael's and at Joann's. But in this case, I needed a crochet hook to come to me the next day because I wanted to do this project on the plane flight. There was time element to it. And so I found these on Amazon, you guys. And I cannot even begin to tell you how much I love this type of hook. And so this has like a rubberized handle and you can hold onto it. It's not the full metal shaft like a lot of traditional crochet hooks, but it has a rubberized handle with indentions for your fingers. So you can actually crochet faster and easier. And they're color coded. I mean, mind you, this handle is a little bit bigger than probably some people might prefer. Yes, Amazon. These guys are the winners on Amazon. And then another important feature when I look for my crochet hooks, and I'm going to show you guys as well on both, if I can get it, if I can remember to show Instagram. I'm so very sorry, you guys. But is you want the hook to make sure that it's fully vertical up and down, so that way it doesn't get caught on your yarn as you're crocheting it. Yes, you guys, like these are my favorite hooks. I cannot believe I've gone this long and haven't tried them. You guys commenting is fantastic. And then the last thing is I'm going to give you a ball of yarn that I actually used on the airplane. I had about 6 different variegated yarns that I'm putting together in this crocheted blanket. And this was my favorite of all of them. It is a Lion brand. It's a mandala. You guys, this was not like a super expensive project. I just wanted something to keep myself busy that I could take on an airplane. And if I'd have used expensive yarn, I would have felt bad if it got dirty, got lost or anything. So this is mandala and is their variegated line. And they come in a giant ball like this. And the color transition seamless. I love it. So the winner of this prize is going to get the fantastic crochet hooks that everyone super, super loves on Amazon, is going to get a tin. And to be clear, I intentionally made sure that they, what? I think she wants me to stop talking. Anyways, to make sure that it matches the hook, and then of course the drawstring bag, so that way you can keep it all together when you're traveling. And like I said, I had a very long day getting to Hawaii, so this was a fantastic portable project I could take with me. And so the winner is going to be Lisa George. Congratulations, Lisa! You have won all these fun things, and so you don't have to go on Amazon and look for these hooks. All right, yes, Teresa, these yarn, like. So it's a really big ball and it has a lot of good color variation to it. And I think there's about 50 or 60 different variegated colors in this line. So you definitely want to take a look at that. All right, my 10th item is our last item. And so you guys know I love my kids. I love my boys. We travel all the time for sports and for soccer. And we are big into game night. So when we have a night home, we are puzzling or we're doing a game. So what I would like to ask for you guys is when you guys get together with your families, or perhaps a favorite memory from when you were a child, what is the game that you guys most likely go play? And game night might not be a thing for you now, but at some point in time, if it was, what is your favorite game that you play when you gather with your family, small or large, or that you remember from a child? Like I remember we played Parcheesi till the sun came home when I was a kid. We played Monopoly and Clue. Those were our jams when we were a kid. As we've gotten older, like games today are very different than they were when we were a kid. And we were traveling for Lincoln for a soccer tournament in the spring. And we had Dominic. And so you guys know when I travel, my mom taxes, I have to go to a quilt shop. We were in Indianapolis. We have to go to a quilt shop. That's my mom tax. I drove all the way here. And I've seen all your games. We're going to a quilt shop. And Dominic wanted to come with me. And this is one of those ones where right next to the quilt shop was a game shop. And that's Dominic's favorite stop. He likes to go into the puzzle shops. He likes to go into the game shops. He likes to go into those shops and browse. And we found this game. And we ended up taking this game back to Mr. Cotton Cuts and Lincoln. And we sat at a bar and we played this game for 6 hours. Like we didn't get up. There was some bathroom breaks, but we sat and played this game for so long. It was so much fun. And it is called Ito, I-T-O. And so this game works that there are numbered cards from 1 to 100. And it starts when everyone draws a card off the top of the deck. And so you will have a random number between 1 and 100. Then there will be a topic that is shared. And it'll be something here. Let me see if they have an example on the back. Let's see here. All right. So the question is, the category is size of animals. And so you have to look at your number. And the 1 is going to be small and the 100 is going to be large. And if the category is size of animal and you're looking at a snail, you need to give a description of, or you're looking at like a 1 or a 2. You need to give a description of something that is very small to make sure that your number goes in order face down, closest to the 0. Now, if your number is like 100, you probably want to give a clue like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So that way you can get close to 100. Now, if you're in the 50 category, you need to come up with an animal or a clue or description that's close to like a mid-sized animal. And everyone places their cards face down in what they think is a sequential item of 1 to 100. And so it actually is tons of fun, because do you want to go first? Do you want to go last? Do you want to go in the middle? If you've got something on the extremes, it's really easy. If you've got a 1, it's a snail, bam, done. If you've got a 99, T-Rex, bam, done, right? But if you've got like a 42 and someone at the table who you don't know has a 44, how are you going to get those in numerical order? And you can add modifiers and you can add adjustments as people review their clues, and you can move them around. And then you turn them all over and you see if you've gotten them all in the right numerical order. The topics are so vast. They are so different. There's some family-friendly ones. There's some general knowledge ones. It was a ton of fun. And so we are going to give this away to one lucky person who is a gamer like our family. Paula is sliding down the last winner. Bam! All right, Janet Elliott, congratulations. You have won Ito. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. All right, that is it, guys. Those are my favorite things this year. These are kind of like little snapshots of overtime. If you've been watching the show, I've touched on and talked about a lot of these things. I love this show. I love sharing these with you guys. I love exposing you guys to new things that you might not see that could be inspiring for you, especially coming to holiday season. Perhaps there's games that you've picked up as people have been putting comments and answers in that you want to take with you. It doesn't always have to be quilting, guys. We are not just one note. We are well-rounded individuals. We read and we sew and we have other crafts and we eat fantastic food. And so you guys, it is so much fun doing this show with you guys every year. And I love reading your comments. I cannot wait to go back again and read all the comments on everyone's posts, because you guys, this is a ton of fun. And I love learning from each other and being inspired by you guys. Yes. Yes. And make sure if you won, go to cottoncuts.com/favorite-things-winner. So that way we can get the right mailing address and get the stuff to you in the right place. Many people have lots of different mailing addresses. Surprise, surprise. And we want to make sure that we get the right thing to the right winner. Let's see here. So Terry, oh my gosh, Terry, you say you only own one quilting book. Excited to have more. Well, Sarah, we've got to help with that, Terry. I'm sure people have put a whole bunch of titles and options and selections in there that you would have a ton to choose from. All right, so quick reminders before we go. The last day for the buy two, get one for PMQ Boltons and strip packs is today. The last day to get a pre-cut Mystery 50 Aloha kit and a $10 bonus gift card is today. Tomorrow, we have our live YouTube sale and our D-Stash, the Pink Friday. That's going to be on YouTube. Make sure you hit up all the registration and get ready to have a lot of fun. There's going to be alcohol. It'll be good work. Then next week, what's that? Yes. Then the week after Thanksgiving, we have a live show on Tuesday where we're going to talk about colorways. On Wednesday, we're going to do the Mystery 50 reveal. And Friday, we're going to do signups open for Field of Dreamers. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today and talking about awesome things, showing your enthusiasm. I love and appreciate all the comments and what you guys have been sharing. You guys inspire me as much as I inspire you. So thank you so much for all of that. And you make these shows fun. It's fun to be fun, and it's fun to have people that enjoy it with us. Now, if you've been hanging to the end of the show, I didn't announce it at the beginning, but we still have that $25 gift card that we give away each week simply for asking a question. So find this video on YouTube, on Instagram, or on Facebook and answer this question. Yes, Diane, there is Zoom stitching tonight. It's 7. Okay, they will make an announcement about the start time and all the good things. Okay. So if you've hung with me this long, a $25 gift certificate to the Cotton Cut Shop. Here's the question. What's the best gift you've ever received that's related to quilting, sewing, or crafting? So, right, I kind of shared some fun things this year, but what is the best gift that you have ever received related to quilting, sewing, or crafting? And so I'll share mine. My kids, like when they were super young, they wanted to get me a Christmas gift, and they said, Dad, take us to a quilt shop. And your dad's like, your mom owns a quilt shop. No, but we still want to go to a quilt shop because we want to get Mom something special she wouldn't have access to for herself. And they each bought me like little bits of fabric and little notions. My boys were so young. It was so sweet. It's the best gift I've ever received. And yes, I own a quilt shop, but it's fun to support local, and the boys did a fantastic job. So answer this question. What's the best gift you've ever received? We'll pick one lucky winner to $25 gift cards to the Cotton Cut Shop. All right, that is it for me, gang. Next week, it's Thanksgiving on Thursday. So we're going to do a best of show in this time slot. I will be with my family. We are probably going to be running in the 5K that we do every year. So I will unfortunately not be here with you guys. But the next week, like I said, we're going to spend a lot of time together. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we are going to give away stuff because that feels like the right thing to do this time of year. All right. Happy sewing, everybody. Have a great weekend. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a good day. And we will see you soon. Bye now. And cut. Thank you so much for watching our video. We have so much fun making these, and we hope that you were both delighted and inspired by what you just watched. This video was sponsored by Cotton Cuts. Cotton Cuts is your one stop for all the best fabric and thread memberships. Love fabric? We've got you covered. Love thread? We've got you covered. We get that no two quilters are cut from the same cloth, which is why our memberships are as unique as you. We also have the largest block of the month in the world. Over 4,000 detectives solve our puzzle mystery quilts every year, and you can join them. Simply go to cottoncuts.com to learn more about all the awesome and fun things that we're doing. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to make sure you get all of our new fresh content every time it comes out. Thank you so much. Happy sewing enthusiasts, and we will see you soon. Bye now.